What's the most common, like, New York Italian name?
Joey, Vinny, Danny. Anything with a Y at the end. I was Ricky. Anything with a Y at the end. Ricky, Joey, Danny, Vinny.
Is it still that, or was those just like...
Nah, it's still that.
Like, they still name their kids that?
Yeah. Vinny. I think the most common Italian name today is probably Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah, and you get Joe, Joey. My uncle was Uncle Vinny. My grandpa was a Vinny.
I know, but like...
My biological grandfather was a
Are they still naming
Tony.
their kids that?
Tony's another common one. Tony, Vinny, Danny, Ricky.
Do you know young kids that...
Yeah. Like now, I don't know. I don't hang out with young kids.
Rick hangs out with young children. Hey, welcome back to our Stupid Reaction. I'm Corbin.
I'm Ricky.
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, more juicy
Juicy content.
Thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. Follow us on our official Twitter account. Subscribe and hit that like button. Welcome back. Today, we're doing a movie review. And we're doing a movie review of the new 2025 film that had been doing the festival circuit.
And is now the official entry
selection of India for the Oscars. Homebound. And as you should know, should go without saying, we did get a screener from this, so thank you so much to Dharma for sending us a screener.
Very much.
It's obviously not a paid review. Some people need that spelled out for them.
So strange.
They just sent us a screener with no attachments. Although he didn't send a little extra stuff, which I wish he would have.
I know. We're very disappointed. We'll talk to him next time we see him.
Anyways. But directed by Neeraj Gaiwan,
yep.
Who we know from, I believe, Masan.
Yeah.
And have we seen anything else outside of Masan? Masan was so good, though.
Yeah, it was.
It's such a great film. Salt? No, we haven't seen that. Short film
Juice. That's one of the best short films.
Second AD, he was worked with Anya Raga.
He worked with AD on Gangs of Wasseypur.
Made in Heaven, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a couple episodes of Made in Heaven.
Also, it should be said that there's a lesser known exec producer on this.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
He also directed
Martin Scorsese.
He directed 8 episodes of Sacred Games.
Yes.
So he's worked with Anya Raga a lot. But obviously, yeah. Exec produced by Martin Scorsese and Dharma Johar.
Yep.
So we'll actually go into non-spoilers since it is out in theaters right now.
Yeah, it just opened.
And then later on, we will talk about what we think its chances would be at the Oscars if we think it has a shot to make the short list and blah, 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 blah. But this initial part will be a non-spoiler review about the film.
Yeah.
So, Rick, your initial non-spoiler thoughts of Homebound.
I was debating even till I sat in the chair of, and this matters to me. It doesn't matter to a lot of you, or to you.
No, it doesn't matter.
The which medal I would give it, because for me it goes from entertaining, excellent, exceptional, extraordinary, and there was no question in my mind watching it that this was excellent, and Blue Diamond for sure. But what was going to be the pivot between the two? So I am going to go in the direction of giving it a gold with a Blue Diamond.
Gold, Blue Diamond.
Yeah, I'm giving it a gold with a Blue Diamond. I am the praises of it are the film is just held together by a very good story. I thought the acting performances by everybody were the highlight for me in terms of the strength of the believability in every frame and everybody in the cast
and Vishal.
But our two leads carry the film as they have to. I believed them. I cared for them. And ultimately, I don't know, other than some personal things that people might feel. I watched it with Andrani. She liked it as well.
Oh, good.
And she pointed out some things that I might not have picked up.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I don't know why you wouldn't like the film.
Yeah.
Because there's really nothing in it that you can look at and say, I don't like that film, except some personal things you may feel about some of the subject matter.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
No, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was... when it was first going on, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, almost the first half, I was like, this is good. I like this. But I was confused as to why it was chosen for the Oscars because I was like, okay, like this is a good movie. Everything is top notch, high quality, and everything like that. But I was like, what is the big selling? Like, why? Why? And then obviously, once you watch the film, you're like, oh, right when it happens, I'm like, oh.
But that also, Indrani, we're about 30 minutes in. She said, "What do you think?" I said, "I'm really liking it, but I'm kind of wishing I was liking it more. I'm like waiting for the other proverbial shoe to drop for this to have been at Cannes and TIFF, and it's the Oscar contender.
And when it happens,
it's the second half.
When it happens, you're like,
first half is very, very good, but when you're watching the film that was submitted to the Oscars, you're thinking, I kind of was expecting to be like riveted within the first 10 minutes, and it just starts off as a basic, there you go.
It like you had
without giving any spoilers.
It is a story. It is a story about casts.
It's a very human story
about different style of people. I'm not giving anything away.
No, that's in the trailer.
You should watch the movie in theaters, support it because
Definitely support it.
It's a very good film, and we'll talk about the end, its chances and stuff. But I think it could have a good chance at certain things. But let's just talk about this for now. Ishaan and Vishal, phenomenal job by these two.
Couldn't have asked for better performances.
I don't know if we've seen. I might have seen him in like supporting.
Do you know who Ishaan's related to?
Nepotism. Who?
This is from Indrani.
That's not Shahid's brother, is it?
Yeah, Shahid's half brother.
Oh, that's his brother. Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. He's. I think we have seen him in something. Yeah, he's a good actor. Especially like there's a specific things at towards the end of the film. He really like that's a tough. What he had to do is very tough.
Yeah.
Because it's I'm giving it anyway. But
the totality of the film is dependent upon these two guys, as you can see. That's in the trailer. It's obviously these two guys' story
and their friendship.
So you've got to have chemistry. We've got to believe it. And there's enough that goes on. I mean, the bottom line for going to see it is, if you like good storytelling and you enjoy watching actors do a really great job and make you believe them and leave with a understanding of a human element in a way. Now, there's nothing particularly unusual or revelatory in terms of
outside of them telling this specific
story, which is this is a very true personal story.
Yeah,
but a lot of I asked Indrani watching it. I said, I bet there's some people who might have a problem that they think this has tropes and stereotypes that they don't like to see because they see it all the time. She said, absolutely. I said, but the stuff they're dealing with is really, really common. She said, oh, yeah,
and it is. I specifically remember the events happening to these people when it happened.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you can gather it from the trailer.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff, I get how some people would say, okay, we've seen stories like this before. You have, but you haven't seen this story.
And you haven't
seen the story of these two guys.
It is also done, I think it might just be this director, and he's so good at what he does in terms of directing.
Yeah.
That, like, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is very suited for Western audiences in terms of how it was filmed. Like in terms of its shots, it's like it's not going to be jarring for any Westerner to watch this movie.
No.
And be like, oh, this is such a different way to make a film, because it's not.
In the same way that it's a very different film.
And that's a good thing.
The Lapata ladies had that same accessibility.
Yeah, accessibility for non-Indians.
However, well, I'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into the spoilers.
His direction, he is without question, and I know we don't know his name, and we need to. Niraj Gawan. He is one of the best directors in all of Indian cinema. Just looking at his filmography and what we've seen of his, like without question, he's one of the best directors.
Who helped with casting? Because that needs a shout out. Because the casting was Joji Malang. The casting was wonderful across the board.
Yeah,
there wasn't a weak performance. I believed everybody. The smallest of roles, just across the board. I thought and there's quite a few people in this cast.
We know Janvi, obviously.
Yeah, and we know who Janvi is, right? You know who Janvi is?
She's a Kapoor. She's somebody's brother, cousin, aunt, sister.
But she's correct me if I'm wrong. Please look this up. Is she not Sridevi's daughter?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I always forget who's who, especially when their last name is Kapoor.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to keep up. But yeah, no, that is correct. But yeah, the whole cast did well. I thought it's very subtle, but I thought the score was really nice in terms of the composer. There's no big songs or anything like it. It's not that style.
It does a good job of just being a part of the scenery.
And it also, for Indians, it brings up certain caste debates that have been done before. It's not going to be...
And religion.
Yeah. It's not going to be anything that, if you are familiar with Indian cinema, that you haven't seen talked about in a film.
Nothing to.
For Westerners, it will be. If they're seeing this for the first time. And obviously this specific situation that happens to these specific people, that will be new for them. And I think is one of the big reasons it was chosen. But go watch this film. I think it's very, very, very good. And it's definitely one of the best films from India this year.
Absolutely.
And we're going to get into spoilers. It's in theaters now, so you can go watch it and support this movie. And then you get to follow its, hopefully, success towards the future.
Should we say, before spoilers, should we say, or was it going to be part of the conversation? Would this have been is this the selection you make for India's submission?
In non-spoilers?
Non-spoilers, just would it be without giving anything away? I know, because now you have to say if it's not or it is, why, based on other things.
I would probably say yes, and for a couple reasons. Do I think Fable is a more interesting and unique film? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Go watch the Fable. Fable's absolutely fantastic and so unique. This one has a couple things going for it. One, I think the story and the accessibility that we talked about, especially when you get to the second half, you're like, oh, yeah, that's an Oscar story, right? And so it has that going for it, but it also has the financial backing of Karan Johar and Martin Scorsese. And that's big. That is big. We've talked about it in past Oscar videos in terms of, I think that's one of the things we brought up with certain films being brought.
Yeah, hate the game, don't hate the players.
Because not only, obviously, it's a whole gamut of things that, obviously, quality of film should be first, right? That should always be first. This has good quality, right? So it has that. But unfortunately, that's not it. It's not like in terms of you can't pay for an Oscar, but money helps you campaign.
Yep. And names help you. Case in point, it's not a coincidence that The Fable didn't get distribution in India until Anurag Kashyap. And forgive me for forgetting your name, madam. You're a freaking Oscar winner. These two name producers come on board. That gives it the distribution.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Thankfully, this is a year where the selection isn't one where we're going, why did you pick that? Because there have been years when we've done that and thought, why did you pick that? I absolutely understand this as a selection. There's a couple films. We'll talk about this when we get to the dummies. There's a couple of films we've seen this year that weren't even considered by the Film Federation that really boggle my mind. That one in particular I gave a platinum to. There's just a couple that they didn't even consider. Madras Matinee.
Hold on.
I know. We'll have to get. We'll come back. We'll talk about that when we get closer to the dummies. It's.
I know the name. Why am I forgetting?
I know because we've done a bunch of films that we just forget the matinee, and then we forget the title, and when we see the film. But for me, I said it in the review.
Oh yeah. That's great, but also I don't know if that's as accessible. It is a great film. No doubt.
Yeah. So again, the accessibility. It's a shame,
and it already has legs. Which
that can. Yeah, you've got that. My personal preference, obviously, for submission would have been The Fable, and I think the accessibility. Yes, this has a commercial accessibility, but knowing what I know on what has been nominated as international films, The Fable falls more into the category of that niche.
I don't know. It would be that would be my favorite. Like if you're saying which was your favorite, The Fable.
Obviously.
It's definitely gonna be my favorite.
Obviously.
The they like those heart touching stories in the foreign films, especially for the Oscars. They like that style, and especially once again without giving anything
Not
away.
always heart touching.
I'm not saying
Social.
It's like carte blanche.
Yeah, they care about things that have something to do with social statements.
But I think all around, if you're comparing every category to submit a film, I think this is probably the right chick.
Last year, Denmark submitted the girl with the needle. That is not a. That's a dark movie. Iran's film last year was brilliant and rough.
Yeah, I think in terms of quality, in terms of story, in terms of financial backing, in terms of does it already have legs? And this one definitely has massive legs with what it did at TIFF and Cannes. And the Toronto Festival as well.
Yeah.
I think if you're like comparing like what has the strongest on all levels, it's probably this one. But like I said, if you're debating like what is your favorite, The Fable's going to be my favorite.
Yeah, and I think, and we'll get into spoilers here in a second. I just think, like we talked about that with Gully Boy. When Gully Boy was the selection, we understood it. Because of who was attached.
Yeah, that's different. I think that was
and the notoriety of the people who might see it.
Biggest argument, though.
But
this one
we didn't consider it to be something that was this one's a better selection than Gully Boy was in terms of the artistic connectivity to that and the storytelling and some of the delightfulness of the elevative artistry that happens in this.
Yeah.
But I will honestly, I love the film. I want people to see it. I personally, I don't think it's going to make the short list.
You know?
Yeah, I don't.
I think it could have a shot. It's just I don't know what the other foreign films are this year. I don't know if it's a strong year.
No clue.
Like Parasite.
No freaking clue of what's going to be happening in the foreign films yet. I just know the submissions are coming in.
I do know it almost won Cannes and TIFF.
Yes.
Or it won a specific thing at actually one of them, but it almost won like the big prize as well.
Yeah.
And so people are liking it that aren't just Indians.
I don't know why you wouldn't like the movie.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing to talk about whether it should or shouldn't is the Oscar. To say whether or not this is a film you should see and whether you'll like it, I'd be surprised if it isn't just something everybody would enjoy.
A universally liked film.
Yeah.
Because it's very good. And hats off to these performances of acting runs in that family.
Yeah.
What's his Ishaan. Also, Vishal, we didn't talk about him, but I love his. I don't know if they're his real eyes.
I was gonna say, you know what he had? I said this at one point while we were watching it. He had and it was the expressiveness that comes through the eyes, the emotional availability. Who do you think I'm going to refer to when I say that?
Who?
Amir Khan.
Oh, yeah.
He had an Amir Khan type of quality to him. This kind of when Amir plays the characters that are the innocent, and you see the emotion through the eyes.
He reminds me. His eyes remind me
of Rufus.
Rufus,
a little bit.
Swell. Who, like, if you've seen Knight's Tale, he plays Ulrich.
He's a wonderful actor. He's in The Diplomat.
He's been in everything.
Watch The Diplomat.
You probably don't know his name, but you know him.
I'll tell you what.
Stuff.
After seeing this, these two gentlemen, they're in something. I'm going to be excited because of what I just saw in this film. I'm like, you're in good hands. These guys are solid actors.
Yeah.
Solid actors. But the spoils?
Yeah.
Okay, spoils, go away. If you haven't seen the film,
go
watch it and then come back.
So, did you see it coming?
What?
Spoilers!
This is spoilers. COVID?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't know.
I had no idea COVID was going to be a part of the story.
I didn't know if I was just stupid, and I was like, did I miss that they were talking about this the entire time?
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just like COVID.
Yeah.
That's what was great. That's one of the best parts of the storytelling was it really did hit you like COVID did. You're just living your life, and you just all of a sudden, there's a virus, and the world stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I specifically remember, obviously.
And
we
did
drone videos.
When they got, I don't remember what point. It's before they get on that truck. and before he starts to develop symptoms, I said to Andrani, I said, ugh, one of them's going to get COVID and die.
I don't know. Did he get COVID? Because he was saying he got heat stroke.
It was because his temperature got so high. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got COVID.
Got COVID.
And then his temperature was probably, because no matter who you were, and before the vaccines, if you got it and you got the temperature and you didn't do stuff to take care of the temp, like take acetaminophen, and then you obviously after that you have autism. Yeah, autism. If it was unattended to, add to it, he's dehydrated and he's walking in the heat, your brain, your brain death. Yeah, that's what they said. Is if his temperature gets too high, and that sadly is going to happen. That moment not only was so well written and so well directed and so well acted, it worked on all 3 points. When he's trying to keep him awake, and he starts telling him
that he did a great.
Mom's here.
That's the scene I was talking about.
Yeah, and the girl you love is here, and him. You see him fighting to try to open his eyes. The editing, everything about that needed to go as well as it did.
I wonder how many takes they had to do. I would have hoped the director set up like multiple cameras so he didn't have to do it. That's it's a difficult scene.
Yeah.
Because you have to access all that emotion.
Yep.
But that's also an exhausting scene.
As is.
I got minutes.
Another beautiful moment was Mom's reaction to her son's death.
Yeah. Oh, when she
and she starts hyperventilating.
Yeah, it's a great job by her.
Great job.
She did a phenomenal job.
I believed it 100%. I cared about these people when they started to look for their scores. Indrani, she said, "Ugh, I don't like this. Just watching it, I know what that feels like when you're waiting for your test scores and what it means to you to get your test score back." And that was the thing, that there wasn't anything. I didn't see COVID coming, but as far as caste discrimination, religious discrimination, the buddies having a fall apart and then they're going to come back together. There wasn't anything that was unpredictable in that sense. It was very predictable. And I can see how many people might have a problem with that in the storytelling for them. It's like, I've seen a story like this before where there's two buddies and one of them doesn't get it. Because when they went for the test scores, I said to Andrade, I said one of them's going to get in.
Yeah. But they both got in.
I love that twist. I also love our final screen moment. So did Andrade. That last moment at the place where they used to hang out, and the dove lands next to him. That was lovely.
And there was also not just obviously the COVID, but specifically what happened to the daily wage workers in India.
Yes,
which is obviously something that in India was talked about a ton.
Yes,
but the rest of the world doesn't know that story.
You know,
that's one of the reasons that I was like, this is a good one. You can figure not only what happened to everybody during COVID, specifically the daily wage workers in India.
Yeah,
they went through hell.
They really did. And as they were showing that part of the film, I was thinking to myself about how blessed we are, and that we were continuing to do our videos, from a distance. But I remember us saying when we were making the videos, saying, "Hey guys, we know this is a rough time for everybody. Yeah. We hope that we can be a respite in the midst of this awfulness." And there was a particular. That was the other thing I asked Andrani when the cops. I love watching a film with Andrani because she'll get stuff that I don't get, and she'll laugh at stuff. Just like when we're in a movie theater and the Indians laugh, and we look at each other and go, "I guess that was funny."
Yeah.
So when the cops came out and started hitting people with sticks and telling them, "Get out of here because you're sick," she laughed at that because it was absurd, but it was true. And she's like, "Yes, that's what the cops would do." But I asked her, I said, "Were they forcibly quarantining folks?" She said, I think so. She didn't remember it happening in Kolkata, but I'm sure in big places and in villages and stuff that there was. I don't remember every single story.
Yeah.
But that aspect of it, the forcible quarantining. Yeah. And also remember, now we think of COVID like the flu.
Yeah.
Because we know about it now. It's basically a really bad flu for folks.
Oh, and the vaccines.
And the vaccines. And the vaccines. Yeah. But we didn't know what the hell we were dealing with.
Oh, no.
And people were dying in the thousands every day. It was not funny.
Yeah, but that's one of the other reasons that I think it does have a good shot, and why it's actually, especially amongst even though I know a bunch of Indians are loving this movie as well, but in terms of the
second
people
half.
that don't watch Indian movies, learning about COVID through Indian eyes, and specifically the daily wage workers, which is something that is not really here.
Yeah.
You have kind of hourly workers here, but it's a very different life because they're hired by a company who is now, even though obviously during COVID stuff did shut down, but you still were kind of almost guaranteed a job once it's come back.
Restaurant folks got hammered and hurt, but that was what I meant. The blessing. I remember saying that over and over to everybody because people would check in with you, go, "How are you doing? How are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh man, we've got it better than 90% of the world right now." Because I was watching that and I was thinking to myself, "Good God, these poor people, they're hand to mouth every single day, and then their mills shut down.
Yep.
Where are they supposed to go and what are they supposed to do?"
Yeah, and I remember those stories when it was happening of the migration that was happening, and
Yeah, I get emotional.
thousands or millions of people that died, not just of COVID, but because of the migrations and all that kind of stuff.
They had nowhere to turn to and no one to. Yeah, it's just awful.
it was
so I think that second half is one of the reasons it has some of the gravitas to attract Oscar votes.
I am predicting that it will make the short list. I think because of all factors, it has Martin Scorsese. So you're gonna one of the biggest hurdles with foreign films and Oscars is getting members to actually watch it.
Correct.
And I know that's sad to say. You'd think that you're a member, you should watch everything. They don't.
They don't.
Unfortunately.
They don't.
And so you need
They don't have the time, first of all.
Yeah, you need to have one distribution. You need to have
My goodness.
money for screenings. You need to have campaigns. And if you have Martin Scorsese exec producing, people are like, oh, Martin Scorsese did this. Or,
Or, you know many people. You know many people around him are going to want to say, "Hey, Marty, I watched the film."
Yeah, and so that is huge. So at minimum, and since it's done so well at TIFF, Cannes, Toronto, all these other festivals,
I'd be very happy for it if it does make the short list.
I think it will. Beyond that, I don't know. Because I don't know what other foreign films are.
We're looking into a void right now because we don't know what the other films are that are being considered.
Yeah, because there could be like a Parasite or the Portrait Lady on Fire, or that stuff that I don't know about.
Yeah, there could be what was the remake of the war movie from Germany that was nominated for everything, as it should be. It was a great film.
I think because of all factors, I think it is a good shot. Doesn't mean it will. Obviously, I don't know and shit.
No, I would Of the films we've seen in the last 6-7 years, this is one of the better selections.
Yeah, definitely,
without question.
It definitely has the quality, but it also has other factors in it. You have money. You have high-level name producers in Hollywood, which is something indie films just don't normally have.
And you've got, I mean, in all sincerity, there's a lot of people here who will know the name Karan Johar. They're going to know that name. As one of the biggest producers of Indian cinema. There'll be a lot of Indians. I mean, I don't think there's an Indian who doesn't know his name.
Oh, yeah.
Even in America, everybody knows Karan Johar.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, if you've seen it, let us know what you thought about the movie. If you like it, if you didn't like it, what your thoughts on it. What do you think its chances are at the Oscars? Do you think it'll get in? Do you think it won't get in? What are your thoughts on it? And anything else we need to know down below?